Greetings and salutations all, I.S. Anderson here once again, and it's Wednesday, so that means it's Top 5 Wednesday today. Yay! Okay. So today is the top 5 books that I would recommend to new readers. Now, for this group of books, I chose books that were relatively short and sort of easy, just to, I don't think it'd be a good idea to hand, a new reader, a Game of Thrones book and say, here, read this. That'd instantly turn them off. So these books are, designed to be short, quick, and but very interesting and good reading. So yeah, so let's go ahead and let's get started. Number 5 on the list is Heck, Where the Bad Kids Go. And as you might guess, yes, it is about two children who die and get sent to Heck. Basically, it's a sort of suburb of hell. It's a extension of it, and it's designed only for kids. And the story is centered around two children named Milton and Marlo, a brother and sister, yes, who die in a marshmallow bear explosion while at the mall Christmas shopping. Yes. And they both get sent to Heck, and Milton, he doesn't understand why he's in Heck because he's a good kid and never causes any problems. Unlike his sister Marlo, who pretty much causes trouble constantly and is very proud of it. And basically, it's their adventures about how Milton circumnavigates Heck and how they deal with their principal, Beelzebub. Yes, Principal Bub she's called the Principal of Darkness. And Milton and Marlo, they have adventures, and they're basically spend the book trying to get back out of Heck. So yeah, definitely want to give this a read if you're a new reader. It's like I said, it's pretty short, and it has some pretty interesting language in it. There's some very interesting use of words in it. I won't get into it, but it's definitely something I think new readers would very much get into. So yeah, number 5 is Heck. Number 4 is The Maze Runner by James Dashner. Now, I think most of you know what this one is about. It's about a boy named Thomas who wakes up and he's in this metal cage that's slowly ascending. It's completely dark, and it opens up, and he's released into this whole world where there's a bunch of other teenage boys, and he has no memory of his past life other than his name. And they spend the time trying to get out of this maze, sort of like Heck. And I think this is a good one for new readers because, again, it's fairly short, and the print's pretty big in it. And I do think that a lot of people would find this interesting. It's also a dystopian novel, and it has a genuine intrigue and mystery. And it's a very good pace, and I think new readers would find this very interesting. So yeah, I would definitely, number 4 is The Maze Runner by James Dashner. Number 3 is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. And the reason why I chose this book is that I think a lot of people, or especially guys, don't get into books these days because they'd rather play video games. And what better way to move them into books than to give them a book about video games? And Ready Player One, I mean, even without the 80s nostalgia, it's a well-written book, and it's very immersive, and a lot of people can relate to it. The arguments about movies and all that stuff that still goes on today. And it's definitely one of the best books, in my opinion, out there right now. And I am reading it right now, or actually I'm listening to the audio book by Will Wheaton, which is really good. And I will be doing a review on that pretty soon. But number 3 would be Ready Player One. And for number 2, The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. And yes, there is a movie about this out right now, but I think it's still good to read the books, and I think people would find this book very interesting. It's another dystopian world, but I think it's one people could still relate to on some levels and sort of see happening with the reality TV that goes on nowadays. It's not too hard to see the world going in this direction. And it's pretty popular. There's already many people reading this, so it's not going to be too hard to convince people to read it. So number 2 is going to be The Hunger Games. And for number one, I chose the book that probably got most people into reading. Most of the avid readers on YouTube and the world right now probably got started out reading this book. It is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. And this series, I mean, it's let's face it, I mean, the Harry Potter series, I mean, it's revived reading. It showed little kids, it got little kids into books, and you know there wouldn't be books, most of the books that are around nowadays are only around because Harry Potter got most people interested in writing, and I don't think reading would be anywhere near as big as it is today if it weren't for Harry Potter. Without Harry Potter, there wouldn't have been any Hunger Games or Maze Runners or any of the other books or a lot of the other books that came out nowadays. So yeah, definitely the one that got people into reading still is, and I would still recommend to most people. Number one would be Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Okay, so just to give you an update on where I am as far as reading goes, I finally finished Feast for Crows. It takes me a while to get through those books, but I finally finished A Feast for Crows. So my next two videos will be a review and a discussion on those two books. Okay, and as always, comments below, and I'll put my contact information there. Comment, rate, subscribe. You know the drill. And until next time, this is I.S. Anderson telling everybody, make your lives grand and have a good day. Thank you very much. And remember, kids, all you need is love if you marry somebody very rich.